Yo, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Hope y'all look good. Hope y'all are fresh. Yeah, man, I'm making this video just quickly because I know I owe the channel a video about investing, and yeah, man, I thought I should just go ahead and do it as I've been dissecting the cash flow quadrant by Robert Kiyosaki, and I've dissected. I made a video about being an employee. I made a video about being a self-employed person or owning a small business, and I made a video about being a business owner. And this video is about investing. Look, here's a disclaimer: I'm not a financial advisor. Um, I am just taking the information that I read in a book and just pretty much breaking it down the way I understand it, and also bringing it to your attention that this might be knowledge that you may read into and actually just gain your perspective from it, because I may break it down in a different way, but the information stays the information, and a lot of people, if we go back to the topic of the video, a lot of people think investing is risky, and being financially illiterate, being uneducated financially is riskier. And people who are scared of investing, which is probably the masses, are people who always work for money, people who always make choices and decisions based on whether they have time or the money, people who don't have true financial freedom. And they say that you never know true freedom unless or until you taste financial freedom. And these are people who are also depending on government, depending on retirement plans, depending on family, depending on other people. And these are people who never get to learn financially, or never get to back up, or strengthen, or get to improve their financial intelligence. And I mean, we all know that like, it's not taught in school. We don't get that financial intelligence in school. So I want to talk about the fact that, as we've been speaking about these other quadrants, it's important to, I believe, find yourself in this quadrant, because this quadrant is where the money is made. This is where we actually find true financial freedom. And learning how to invest is much better than learning a profession. If you learn to work, if you learn a profession, if you study a profession, then that's all you know. And when you learn to invest, you learn to let money work for you. When you learn a profession, when you learn a job, that is what you're going to learn. You're learning work, and you are actually working. And when it comes to investing, you let the money work for you. And that's essentially where you need to find yourself. And there are 5 levels of investors that I can just quickly go through. So when it comes to the 5 levels of investing, you need to literally find where you are and make sure that you get to the highest level, level 5. And a level 1 investor is someone who is a zero financial intelligence investor. They don't know anything about investing. They usually earn a lot, but they usually just blow their money in stuff that doesn't even matter and will never pay dividends or give them an ROI, a return on investment. And yeah, usually these are people who actually, everything that they usually have a lot of money, everything that they buy literally loses value over time, or they just lose their money. And a level 2 investor is someone who is a saver. Savers or losers. Usually people who save lose money. Either that money depreciates in value, or things just get more expensive as time goes on. And usually people who like to save is people who don't want to learn anything about investment, people who don't want to increase their financial knowledge, their financial intelligence, and learn about money, learn how money works. All you have to do is just go to YouTube and type in how to learn how money, like learn how money works, or whatever that you can do. Read books, read Robert Kiyosaki's book. There's a lot of people who teach financial knowledge in South Africa and overseas. And usually people who save, guys, are people who don't want to learn. People, and when you lose your money as time goes on, and if that is over a period of a number of years, all you did was just lose money and you never learned anything. So people who save are amateurs, and professionals are people who learn how to who learn how to make money work for them, who learn how to move money. And the level 3 investor is the I'm too busy investor. Now, this is someone who is usually highly financially or highly educated, and this is someone who has the bucks. This is someone who has the budget, but they're too busy. They also don't spend time or don't make it a point that they learn. Everything and anything has to be intentional, and learning financial literacy is, it has to be intentional. You have to tell yourself that I'm going to learn how to understand money better and how it works, and how investing works in particular. I mean, I said that I'm not a financial investor. I am still also learning the world of investment. I'm fairly new, not an expert, far from it. Yet I am taking in this knowledge, and I'm realizing that this knowledge has been here for years. I mean, Robert Kiyosaki wrote these books in the 80s. And by then, these things were already in place way before. So nothing's ever changed, nothing new, and there's nothing new under the sun. It's just the knowledge that has always been there, but the people are just oblivious and naive, being financially naive, and just not being intentional about learning how money works. And somebody who's too busy, the level 3 investor is someone who literally turns their money to somebody else. Now, here's the thing about turning your money to somebody else, which would be a financial advisor or somebody who is going to advise you about your finances. Usually, guys, those people are in the same boat as you. I mean, if they knew so much about investments, and if they actually practiced this quadrant and actually implemented, and it was actually working for them, and they were actual experts, then they wouldn't be collecting a paycheck for them to advise you on your finances. Now, if the markets crash, or if there's unforeseen, unpredictable circumstances that occur and you end up losing money, all you have now is this person that you trusted and thought that they knew how money works, but it turns out they are just taking information, they're just reading something to so-called advise you on your finances, your millions, your money. So usually it doesn't end well, man, when a person is just going to give you information based on the fact that they all they do is just collect the paycheck for that, and that's the expert that you're gonna trust with your money. And you want to be able to start to be a level 4 investor. However, I'll tell you why a level 4 investor is not a level 4 investor is someone who is I will do it myself investor, someone who literally is going to do it themselves. Usually that's someone who uses their own money. That's someone that is on the S quadrant, the self-employed quadrant, the person who decides that I'll do it for myself. And I mean, it's a good spirit to have, guys, but you need people, you need relationships, you need network, you need experience, you need people who've done it more than you need people who have been in this investment game. And like I said, it's a good thing to have the mentality of a self-employed or a self-employed investor or a self-investor. It's a good thing to have, because when you are faced with challenge, it doesn't scare you, it actually challenges you, and you know that it builds you, and you have the time, because no one is on your back about anything. You know you have the time, you know you have the money, but there's many negatives, there's many downsides about being somebody who's going to be a self-investor, or being a level 4 investor, which is someone who is going to be a DIY investor. And guys, we need relationships to we'll get to the level 5 investor, which is where you need to strive to be as soon as possible, which is where I want to be one day, which is what a level 4 investor should actually think of doing and think of being. Because a level 5 investor, which is the capitalist investor, the person who is usually the richest, and these are usually business owners, people in the business owner quadrant looking to get into the investment quadrant or the investor quadrant, and looking to take the revenue generated from their businesses and throwing into these investment pools and whatever investments that you can find yourself in. And usually those people invest in groups, they use other people's money, they leverage, they network, they build relationships. Anything one man can think of, 2 men can do better, 3 men can do better. Your mind can be the biggest mind, it can be a very great mind. However, you can do better with more than 1, 2, 3, 4 people around you. And this is what investors or people who are level 5 investors have gotten to realize, that it's going to take other people, it's going to take other people's money, it's going to take other people's time, it's going to take other people's efforts to make your investment work. Now, usually S quadrants usually trying to find themselves in the I quadrant, and that's when they crash and burn, because they take all their money and literally throw it into the investment, only for it to backfire. Whereas, and they have to go back to ground level and building it up from ground zero, which is a good thing. You always need to have that mentality to build from ground zero, but you also need to know that there is the right way to do something, the way that it always has been done. And that's where networking, having the right friends, having the right mentors, having the right people around you, having the right team, the people around you who share a common vision to actually help you and propel you to the life of your dreams. And I mean, if you're talking investments, I didn't pretty much break down which particular different investments that you can make. I mean, from the top of your head, a lot of people will think like value stocks markets and cryptocurrencies, the forex markets, and property, and all these other kind of investments that you can make. I am not the expert for that. I am just simply making this video to show you that there are 4 different quadrants. There are 4 different stages or phases that a person can find themselves in how they make their money. They can either be an employee, they can either be self-employed, they can either own a business, or they can either be an investor. You need to determine where you are today. If you are self-employed, you need to determine how you're going to move from being self-employed to owning a business to eventually becoming an investor, and rinsing and repeating the whole process and doing the whole thing, and teaching others and meeting others. And because you can always go so far by yourself, but going with other people, there's that African proverb that they like to mention, that it takes one man to go alone, but if you go with the village, or you take other people with you, you'll go faster, something along those lines. But that's where you need to actually determine where you are, and how you actually going to do this, and how you're going to incorporate what it is that you do, And hopefully me making this video, me making the videos that I did about the business owner and the employee and the self-employed or small business will give you some kind of food for thought, some kind of perspective for you to actually ponder on and think about. And yeah, man, start to realize that there are things, there are systems and strategies and things that are in place that can help you propel you to the life of your dreams. And they don't teach this in school, unfortunately. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope I did a fair job. I was kind of you know jittery on the fence about making this video, because I was like, investor, what the hell do I know about investing? But here I am, man, almost 15 minutes just talking about that topic. And the ordinary man on the ground will understand and grasp the the fruit of the message and what it is that I'm trying to put across, or to deliver the message I'm trying to deliver. So yeah, man, hey man, doing this video with looking like this shows that we serious about this, and we don't care who says what.